Conference football on ESPN. We welcome you inside M.M. Roberts Stadium in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where it's homecoming on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi. The Arkansas State Red Wolves at 2-4 overall, 1-2 in conference play, come in to take on the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, 2-3 overall, 0-1 in Sun Belt Conference play. I'm Jason Baker alongside my color analyst, Austin Davis. AD, Sun Belt Conference plays arrived in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, this is just a big credit to Keith Gill and what he's done for the Sun Belt Conference when conference realignment became an issue just a couple years ago. This is a conference on the rise, and I think everyone's excited about this game tonight.
Oh, what a matchup do we have, especially a quarterback battle. Hey, let's go back in time. Let's introduce you to Mr. James Blackman for the Arkansas State Red Wolves.
Yeah, James at Florida State, actually his freshman year in 2017, got to go against this Southern Miss defense, had a big day, 4 touchdowns, went 18-26. He's a pocket passer. He's going to give everything this Southern Miss defense can handle tonight.
Yeah, 6-year guy in college football due to COVID. On the other side of the equation, a freshman in Zach Wilkie navigating this freshman year. A rough go at it last weekend. What's he got to do to right the ship?
Yeah, Zach had one of those ball games early in his career and just his 4th start where he turned the football over. And everyone knows you can't turn the football over at quarterback. So tonight will be that game. Can he learn from it? Can he pick up where he left off and do what he can do? Because we know with the expectations starting to mount on him, this is where it can get challenging. You see the interception, and here's the fumble. Southern Miss was in this game late, 17-10 in the 4th quarter. Ended up losing a conference battle, 27-10. So what can Zach do tonight bouncing back?
For both of these clubs, what's the keys of the game?
Well, I think it starts with Arkansas State. So staying on schedule offensively. Southern Miss's defense is one of the best in the country at creating negative plays, so they got to stay on schedule. Establish the run game, keep Blackman clean, don't have to drop back every play, and then create turnovers. That's obviously been something Southern Miss has struggled with. Continue that trend. And for Southern Miss, again, protect the ball. I can just about promise you whoever wins this turnover battle will win tonight's ball game. Create negative plays, and then finish with touchdowns. They bogged down in the red zone a little bit and settle for field goals, so finish with touchdowns.
Here we go. Sun Belt Conference football has arrived in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Southern Miss has won the toss. They have elected to defer. They are going to kick off to one of the more dangerous men in all of college football. Let's introduce you to Johnny Lang. He'll watch the football sail over the top of his head. So we will get the Arkansas State Red Wolf offense on the field first. A touchback for Briggs Bourgeois. By the way, it should be noted that 2017 Independence Bowl, the other guy in this stadium that played in that game tonight, Briggs Bourgeois, he had kickoff duty that night for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Just a nugget for you to add. Here's James Blackman. Look at the numbers on him, AD.
Yeah, he's been impressive. He's been really efficient. 9 touchdowns to only 1 interception. On his career, he's got over 60 touchdowns. He's typically a 2-to-1 ratio guy. He's going to look to be highly efficient, and there's a start right there.
He immediately completes a pass to Adam Jones. We do have a penalty flag on the play.
Pass was complete to number 11, Adam Jones.
Offside, defense, number 94. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is first down.
That's our referee, Ted Pitts, tonight. Sun Belt Conference crew here tonight. Blackman is one of 10 quarterbacks in FBS with at least 9 touchdown passes and 1 or no INTs. That's how good he has been, Austin Davis, so far for Arkansas State. A handoff to Johnny Lang makes a man miss in Dalen Gill, but that run defense for Austin Armstrong, the defensive coordinator for Southern Miss, up to the task. They stop Lang for no gain.
And that'll be a matchup to watch all night, Jason. Just Arkansas State's offensive line, the Southern Miss defense, which is starting to come into their own in this season, starting to really flex their muscles as the strength of this team. And this is a matchup we can watch, see how it pans out.
Play action pass. Blackman on the run. This is what he likes to do. Tavalance Hunt has the reception. They love to get Blackman out on the edge off the play action.
Yeah, Southern Miss brings the corner there from the left side. Perfect play call by Arkansas State, running keeper away. That leaves the halfback right there to pick up the corner. Blackman gets on the edge and does the rest. Arkansas State off to a good start here.
Looking at the starting lineup on your screen for the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Jordan Rhodes, the right guard they really like. Here's a give to Brian Sneed, the former Ohio State signee. He transferred out of Ohio State to Austin Peay. Then out of Austin Peay, he's in his third school at Arkansas State. A look to Austin Armstrong's defense in the starting lineup. Who stands out to you?
Well, Avery Hobbs has been a big, I wouldn't say surprise, but it's been exciting how consistent he's been for this defense. Coach Armstrong mentioned that all week. He's more than just a do-right guy. He's been explosive for him.
Brian Sneed, a little wiggle across the 50. Going to set up a 3rd and short for Arkansas State.
You know, Sneed's an interesting back at 210, has a little power and speed. Kind of fits that mold that you want. Can do it all.
Arkansas State in their 6 previous opening drives, 2 touchdowns, 4 punts. Decisive down on this opening drive, 3rd and 2. Caught. Emmanuel Stevenson, the tight end, along the far sideline, has the first down.
To be expected, Southern Miss bring pressure on the first 3rd down of the ball game. Blackman doing a nice job just getting the ball out of his hand into the flat and picking up a first down. Not trying to do too much, just keep the chains moving.
10th reception of the season for Emmanuel Stevenson. 2-back set. We don't see this a lot for the Red Wolves. Play action pass. A lot of play action on this opening drive, and a diving catch made by Champ Flemings.
Yeah, just an RPO. James Blackman. You see, great job with his eyes, keeping his eyes up as he rides the running back down into the fake. Southern Miss defense bites up, and Fleming gets behind him.
How about James Blackman's start to this ball game? 5 for 5, Austin.
You can really see just his calmness. You can kind of feel his presence right now.
Traore in motion. They swing it out. This is dangerous. Johnny Lang, that is a really good open field tackle. Eric Scott Jr. won't get the official credit, but he did enough to get a piece of Johnny Lang out in space.
Yeah, this is just a matchup play. There comes Taylor Knight off the edge, and they're just trying to get Lang in space. They're betting on Eric Scott not being able to make that tackle, but he does enough to get him down.
On count for Blackman, looking to go up top to Jeff Foreman, and he's got him in the back corner of the end zone. Foreman's 3rd touchdown reception of the season, and James Blackman begins this football game 7 for 7 with a touchdown for the Red Wolves tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better start. Jason, if you remember earlier this week talking to Will Hall, what number did he mention? He mentioned number 14, Foreman right there, beating Scott vertically. Just really beat him with speed. And a perfect pass by James Blackman.
18th touchdown they've gotten from the red zone this year. Extra point is good off the foot of Dominic Zavada. Caps a 9-play, 75-yard drive for Arkansas State. They lead it early, 7-0. The Golden Eagle offense will have something to say when we return to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, as you're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. That has got to be one happy head coach of the Arkansas State Red Wolves, Butch Jones, with the way his team just began this ball game. Here's the series history between these two schools. They played 11 times. Southern Miss leads 9-2. The last meeting back in 2008. Recognize a name on that screen, AD? You had a night, my man. 18 of 31, 219 yards. Everybody in this booth tonight was a part of that game. That was a special night in Jonesboro, wasn't it?
Yeah, any win's a good win. I was telling the story of a swing pass I threw right before halftime that should have went back to the house, but the linebacker dropped it, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Absolutely. I'm sure Coach Fedora was really happy he dropped it.
He was pretty mad at me. I'm not going to
imagine.
lie.
Well, here we go for Zach Wilkie. He's got to respond after James Blackman just methodically took his team right down the field.
Yeah, you could really just sense Blackman's experience and his comfortability on the field, and that's something that Zach doesn't really have yet. He hasn't played that many games, and every play is a new play, and he'll get better.
Quick out to Jacarius Caston is caught for a pickup of a couple. By the way, Zach Wilkie's making his 5th consecutive start. That is the most for a true freshman since Nick Mullins closed out the final 6 games of the 2013 season.
This is the 82nd ranked offense versus the 107th ranked defense. So this is a matchup of what you would consider both of these teams' weaknesses. So we'll see who can exploit the other tonight.
Really strong tackle by Jaden Harris, the outside linebacker, as Cole Cavallo received that pass out in the flat. Here's the starting lineup for the Golden Eagles tonight.
Gain of a yard of the play. Third down.
A couple early quick game plays for Southern Miss. Try to get in a rhythm. Try to get Wilkie going. We've got Paul Gaynor Jr. back in at right tackle. That's a little bit of a change up for Southern Miss.
Yeah, they had gone with Kyron Barnes, the true freshman, for a couple of games. Wilkie looking deep. He's going to take off. He is an athletic kid who can run a little bit, and he will go all the way down to the 49-yard line is where they will officially mark him down.
Great job by Zach just filling the gap, right? Will Hall talked all week about fixing his eyes, getting his eyes in the right place. He really only looked at one read, felt the defensive line split. They lost rush contain, and got vertical up the middle. Nice job by Zach doing it with his feet.
Gosh, you could just feel that shot from my man Flip down in that lower end zone. Zach Wilkie coming into your living room. Wilkie had his longest rush of the season. 2-back set, by the way, for the Golden Eagles. And exchanging some pleasantries up front. We do have a pre-snap penalty. Our referee, Ted Pitts, is fixing to tell you about it.
Offside, defense, number 0 with contact. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Underappreciated element to a quarterback's game is drawing the defense off sides. Now with the clap cadence, kind of lose some of that some of that audible presence, but good job by Zach using the clap, getting him to jump off sides.
That was a 23-yard scramble by Zach Wilkie 2 plays ago, by the way. Yeah, it's free 5 yards and really opens up the playbook, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can always get a free play if you snap the ball quick enough, and if they let it roll. So it's a weapon.
Look at Cole Cavallo, who's got a catch already this evening, and you see Zach Wilkie. He'll check to the sideline. 2nd and short. First carry of the night for Frank Gore Jr. Good push from the offensive line.
Flag of the play.
A late penalty thrown from the referee, Ted Pitts.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 71, offense. That's a 15-yard penalty. We'll replay, 2nd down.
Here's a top of the screen. You can see Paul Gaynor Jr.
Yeah, you see Gaynor just get a little high with his hands. Ref sees the face mask of the defensive end move. They're going to make that call every time.
Well, that could be a drive killer. Pass thrown out here to the flats, incomplete to Frank Gore Jr. Sets up now a 3rd down and 17. What was a promising drive, boy, that hands to the face really makes it difficult as you look at Frank Gore Jr. heading back to Zach Wilkie. 3 wide receiver set. Southern Miss might have drew them off sides. Back shoulder throw to Jason Brownlee. He can't hang on.
Wilkie's pass ruled incomplete.
You can see Zach there, got him off sides. He went straight to Brownlee on a free play opportunity. Once you know the defensive line's off sides, you can take a shot.
Offside defense, number 32. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
So here it is right here. Excuse me, sorry, Jason. Get the defensive line to jump, and then now you can take your free shot. You don't have to worry about turning it over. If something happens, you accept the penalty. If you do complete it, you decline the penalty, put your offense in a very advantageous position right there.
And I love the communication we caught. We got him again, offsides. They're going up top to Brownlee this time. Brownlee can't come down with it, but I think we've got another penalty
There's a flag on the play.
on this field. Arkansas State a little antsy.
Offside defense, number 23. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay third down.
Funny, you said just a moment ago, you kind of lose some of this in the clap cadence versus the verbal cadence, which you used a lot in your college days, but something up there is working from Zach Wilkie's point of view.
Yeah, you can see kind of the fake clap as the hands come together, which is legal in college football, not legal in the NFL, but Zach's doing a good job of really selling it. And the game within the game is that'll really slow down this defensive line for Arkansas State, allow this offensive line from Southern Miss to get an advantage.
Wilkie intercepted, slipped underneath as Kenneth Harris, the boundary corner, makes an interception. That is just the second INT this secondary has had on the season, but he was a guy who has been around the ball a lot. 6 pass breakups prior to his first interception of the season.
You can see what the defense was showing. They bail out. Kenneth Harris playing a hard corner, cover 2. And Zach Wilkie's just got to see out in front and not throw that ball to the flat. Good call by Arkansas State defensive coordinator Rob Harley. Just creating confusion, right? Just showing one thing, bailing out, changing the picture on a young quarterback right at the snap. Big turnover, and that's what we talked about earlier, Jason, creating turnovers.
Motion from Jeff Foreman out of the slot. James Blackman wants to take a shot. Good time to do so, and it is dropped in and out of the hands of one of his favorite targets, and to Valence Hunt. I absolutely love the play call from offensive coordinator Keith Heckendover.
Yeah, not surprising to see him take a shot right after the turnover. And they really run a deep crossing route. Blackman does a good job just waiting. Really a perfect throw.
I think some credit's got to be given to Natron Brooks, too. He might have got his hand right on the football as it was coming into the hands of Valence Hunt. H-back in motion. James Blackman's going to Johnny Lang. Josh Ratcliffe will have none of it. Tackle made for just a gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9.
Important 3rd down here for Southern Miss defense to try to create some problems from this Arkansas State offense. They've really had their way.
The incompletion to Valence Hunt on that 1st down, the first incompletion of the night for James Blackman. He had previously completed his prior 6 passes. Blitz coming. Blackman steps up and he's going down. Tackle made by Jay Stanley, the free safety coming on a safety blitz.
Excellent call by Austin Armstrong. Everything about this look tells you that Jay Stanley can't pressure because their safety's not capped above him. So they didn't have him accounted for in the blocking scheme as a single high look. You're not expecting pressure from a single high look, but then there comes Jay Stanley off the edge. Great design, great execution, forcing the punt.
Ryan Hansen will punt it away. A direct kick right at Natron Brooks. He wants to return this. He makes a couple of men miss, but no one else. He is down at the 27, and the Golden Eagle offense will take over when we return from Hattiesburg, Mississippi tonight. Back on a beautiful fall Saturday night in the Pine Belt region of Mississippi. That's the head coach of Arkansas State, Butch Jones, working in his 2nd season as the head coach of the Arkansas State Red Wolves. He's a guy who left the job as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers Spent 3 years as an offensive analyst underneath Nick Saban in the Alabama Crimson Tide. Called it the 3 best years of his coaching life.
Yeah, and think about the pivotal game that this is for him in Arkansas State and what he's trying to build kind of he's going into year 2. This is one he wants to come on the road and feels like he can win.
Yeah, well, you saw the shot of Will Hall as well. We think it's kind of one of those program building kind of games for both of these programs. Zach Wilkie's taking a shot. He's going to Jason Brownlee. Unfortunately, just a little wide of Brownlee. He came down with the football, but out of bounds. So each team kind of throwing early haymakers, trying to take shots down the field also.
Yeah, Brownlee and Harris, a really good matchup, and it's a good vertical ball there by Zach. Just leads him a little too wide, and ball's out of bounds. Brownlee can't really do anything with it, but credit to him for going right back at Harris after throwing the interception.
Brownlee had 12 receptions last week against Troy, a career high. He also had 105 yards, the 7th time in his career he had gone for 105 yards. Receiving, this is a give to Frank Gore Jr.
Frank Gore Jr. with the carry.
No gain on the play. They say 3rd down and 10. Well, I tell you, the run game for either of these teams outside of the Zach Wilkie long run negated by both of these defensive fronts.
Yeah, really what you're getting right now from Arkansas State's defense is they're really able to play just kind of their base looks and fit run gaps and not having to bring a lot of pressure to stop the run or get to Wilkie.
Wilkie started 2 for 2 throwing the football. Now 0 for his last 3. Going to have to get rid of this one here under a lot of pressure. Linebacker coming in. We've got some activity behind the play. The linebacker giving the pressure for Arkansas State was 32, Ethan Hassler. But we do have a penalty behind the play, and Ted Pitts is getting ready to tell us about it.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 5, defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot with an automatic first down.
You know, those are the calls that defensive coordinators absolutely hate. You see Wilkie there just trying to get rid of it with nothing downfield, but it's 3rd down, you're off the field, and an unnecessary roughness, automatic first down, and they keep possession. That's tough.
We saw a 15-yard penalty really negate the opening drive for Southern Miss. We'll see if this 15-yard penalty now extends this drive for Southern Miss, Austin.
Absolutely.
High snap, bobbled, a give to Frank Gore Jr., and a nice rush up to the 48-yard line. You almost get a sense from the play calling early from Will Hall in our conversation with him this week. He wants to get 3 going, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's no doubt. The best friend for a quarterback's a good run game. So if Southern Miss can do that, they can establish the run. It's also going to force Arkansas State to not be so stationary on defense, make them pressure, make them do something different, and void zones in the back end.
Frank Gore Jr. had 15 carries and 67 yards last week against Troy. Another give to FGJ. Going to be really close to a first down. The indications are he hasn't. So back-to-back gives to Frank Gore Jr. What's working on this play?
Just a gap scheme. Really good job by Frank Gore staying inside out of Bolding, who pulls around, gets his hat inside. As you can see right there. Watch him get his hat inside. Frank Gore gets inside. Running behind his pass. Nice job picking up the first.
Look, a pretty good block by Jalen May, one of the young freshman wide receivers of this bunch. Zach Wilkie downfield to Luke Baker, and that is overthrown. Maybe a throw for Zach Wilkie you'd like to have back, just maybe a touch more air underneath it.
Yeah, just a little flat. Ball's traveling away from him. You can see it here. He's got to get it up and down because of the safety, but if you put a little air under that ball and bleed him to the sidelines, Baker can run under it and go make that play with the linebacker chasing with his eyes on the receiver.
2-back set for Southern Miss. And a give to Frank Gore Jr. Trying to pop outside, made a couple of men miss, but we made something out of nothing. Frank Gore Jr.
You see the patience of Frank Gore on that run. Getting in behind his lineman. Watch him. Just patience, 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 looking for the hole. Ends up not happening, but you see a lot of young running backs just take off and get out in front of their blockers. But he's played a lot of football. He knows how to get in behind blockers and make things happen.
Each team right now 1 of 2 on third downs. 3rd and 6 at the Arkansas State 42. Janari Dean's in motion. Screen to Ty Mims, and that was defended as well as you could possibly ask it to be. Travion Thomas out of Americus, Georgia, follows the play and makes the tackle.
Yeah, Thomas coming up from the safety position, just driving on it. Southern Miss trying to get blockers out in front, a quick screen, great play call for 3rd and 6. You see it work all across football, but it's all about the guys blocking on the perimeter and getting a hat on a hat for the run after the catch, but which they didn't get.
One weapon punting to another weapon. Mason Hunt, the punter for Southern Miss, is going to hang one up high in the sky. Johnny Lang is a dangerous punt returner. Hunt got a little too much of this one into the end zone, a touchback. 2:55 left in the first. We got a good one brewing in Hattiesburg. 7-0 Red Wolves. Back with more. 7-0 here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Red Wolves on top. Night beginning to fall here at M.M. Roberts Stadium. Motion across the formation. They get Blackman out on the edge. A pass completion to the tailback and Brian Sneed out in the flats. They've utilized some easy completions. James Blackman is having a really nice night early.
Yeah, really a tale of 2 drives, right? Comes out in the first drive, goes straight down the field, 6 for 6. Comes out the second drive. Southern Miss puts a little pressure on him. So that's Austin Armstrong's MO, right? He wants to press the pressure button whenever he gets in trouble. Southern Miss defense is swarming there.
He just pressed the button.
There
Pressure,
it is.
pressure. And look, in our conversation with Austin Armstrong, he posed a question back to us when we mentioned pressure. He said, well, how do you define pressure? They define it in a lot of different ways. Some people equate it to sacks. They don't necessarily define it that way, Austin. He said it can be a whole different type dynamic. It can be just the way that we affect the play like that.
Absolutely. It can be in the run game. It can be affecting the quarterback's accuracy. Just a conservative play call here from Arkansas State, backed up in their own end zone on 3rd and 17. Get the ball out of your hands. Try to flip field position.
That was to their 3rd tailback and Mike Sharp II.
Credit this Southern Miss defense after a sloppy first drive where Arkansas State really did whatever they wanted to do. They come out the next 2 drives and kind of settle this game down. Give Southern Miss a chance to get back in it.
Natron Brooks awaits this Ryan Hansen punt. Boy, Hansen has hit a beauty, driving Natron back inside the 30-yard line. He had really outkicked his coverage back to the 26-yard line. We do have, I believe, a penalty flag I saw fly on the play. Legal procedure indication from Ted Pitts. Could be a player leaving the field of play and re-entering. It tends to happen on these punts.
We had a kicker player, number 8, go out of bounds on his own and return in and participate in the play. That's a 5-yard penalty that'll be added to the end of the run. First down, Southern Miss.
Here's a look at it. Watch the right side of your screen. Yeah, kind of left on his own accord. That's the penalty. You can't do that.
Yeah, so leave on your own accord without getting pushed out, and then you're the first player to touch Natron Brooks there, the returner. That's the penalty. If he's forced out, he's okay. If he's not first to touch, he's okay. But in that situation, he checked both boxes. That's the 5 yards. They'll tack it on for Southern Miss.
USM's first 2 drives, somewhat similar. The first was a 6-play, 29-yard drive. Their second offensive series, 7 plays, of 29 yards. There's a minute left in this opening quarter. Zach Wilkie looking to go up top. Really nice pass to the freshman Ty Mims. Spins out of bounds into Red Wolf territory at the 41-yard line. They like Mims, fastest Golden Eagle on this team.
Yeah, that's a guy you want to get the ball in his hands. Wilkie has a free runner here coming from the right side. Gets the ball out in rhythm, on time, hits Mims up the seam, and now Southern Miss is rolling. That's the efficiency and the timing to protect your offensive line, protect the guys around you by playing good quarterback.
Yeah, how about the block by Frank Gore Jr. to aid Zach Wilkie to allow him to have the time to throw to Ty Mims, and they reward him with a carry on the next play.
Frank Gore's getting a heavy dose of his carries tonight.
Sixth carry of the night. There's Zach Wilkie's night so far. 4 of 8, 29 yards. He does have that one rush of 23 yards, the longest of his very young career. High snap here. He bobbled the snap. Frank Gore Jr. has to get back on top of it.
Just an unforced error. You can see the snap just a little high.
That's the end of the first quarter.
So Frank Gore Jr. a heads-up play. And that's how the first quarter will end. 7-0 Arkansas State. Back to Hattiesburg with much more. Welcome back to the Rock in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. They celebrated homecoming today on this campus. They also celebrated the coming of a new conference. The Sun Belt Conference officially began on this campus today. They play in their first ball game of this conference officially on this campus today. That means a lot, doesn't it, AD?
Yeah, I think the Southern Miss fan base and this team and Coach Will Hall are really excited about what the Sun Belt Conference is doing as a whole. And now it's figuring out, okay, where do we fit into that? Are we going to be a team that's threatening to win championships? And same for Troy. Are we going to be a middle-tier Sun Belt team, or are we going to go compete and try to win this Western Division and play for a conference championship?
Yeah, and for Arkansas State and Butch Jones, they're feeling the same way. They have that same kind of sentiment that we kind of said a program-building win. I wouldn't call it a defining win, but a building win, right?
Well, just an important conference game for Arkansas State and Southern Miss. And both teams feel like this is a winnable game, and you could, based off the first quarter, it's a pretty evenly matched game.
Give here. That was Frank Gore Jr. getting loose again. His 7th carry of the night, may have been his longest rush of the night.
Southern Miss continuing with the gap schemes. You'll see the right side blocking down, the left side pulling around, just trying to create space in the defense, and they're doing a good job getting bodies on bodies. And we've mentioned Frank Gore's patience, and his does a really good job in those gap pull, pin and pull schemes.
Janari Dean is substituted in. Play action pass. Wilkie's going out to Chandler Pittman. This is nearly intercepted. In and out of the hands of a Red Wolf defender. That was Eddie Smith, the strong safety, the redshirt junior out of Slidell, Louisiana, breaking on the ball.
There's an example of affecting the quarterback. Just a little bit of pressure, something in his face, has to rush the throw. Maybe he doesn't see Eddie Smith all over that play, kicking himself after that one, because I don't think there were any Southern Miss offensive players between him and the end zone.
So 2nd and 10. If here, not much, just a couple. Arkansas State's defensive line is a defensive line unit led by T.W. Ayers, their nose tackle. A red-shirted junior out of Lamar, Missouri. That's Ayers on your screen. He made that tackle. Third and 9 early in the second. Jason Brownlee's at the bottom of your screen. Wilkie under pressure, rolls out, lets it go downfield and out of play.
Flag on the play.
Doesn't take a negative play. We do have a penalty flag.
Number 60 offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
So a hold on Coker Wright. Here it is, right there on the right side of your screen.
Yeah, anytime a quarterback begins to scramble and your hands are inside, you've got to feel the defensive player trying to escape, and you've got to let go, because that jersey's going to pull every time once the quarterback starts moving horizontally.
Third down and 19. Ball is spotted at the 36.
Butch Jones accepts the penalty. Try to get Southern Miss out of field goal range. That's a third down holding. You could see him decline in that, but puts Southern Miss in a tough spot.
Wilkie under pressure, overthrows DeMarcus Jones. So it forces a 4th and 19.
Wilkie's pass incomplete.
Will Hall going to send his,
fourth down.
I believe his field goal unit out. Maybe not. I think he's actually going to send out Mason Hunt. It would have been a 53-yard field goal attempt. Should be noted, Briggs Bourgeois has made a 53-yard field goal. That was in the season opener against Liberty.
Now this is that really tough spot for a coach to make that decision, right? Do I try for the long field goal, or do I play the field position game and pin them deep? I tell you what it says. It's a lot of confidence in your defense, right? You're saying, hey, defense is playing well. Let's pin them inside the 10. Let the defense go do what they've been doing all season and get the ball back with good field position.
He's done it 11 times this year prior to that punt, pinning a team inside the 10-yard line. So he utilizes his punter and Mason Hunt as a weapon, plays the field position game. You could really look back to the Tulane win for this Southern Miss squad, and Mason Hunt had a punt that pinned the Green Wave deep late in that game that probably won them the field position battle and possibly that game, Austin.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see, right, if you're a fan, but sometimes these coaches have to make those critical decisions. They're not always the most popular ones, but they can win and lose games, and that's why they get paid the big bucks, to pull the trigger on those types of decisions.
James Blackman completes the pass to Seydou Traore, the tight end out of London, England. He's one of his favorite targets. He's the leading receiver on this team. He is a tight end by position. Arkansas State, by the way, on the first drive, 9 plays, 75 yards and a touchdown. Their second and third drives, they've combined for 6 plays and -5 yards. Pretty good adjustment of the defense coordinator, Austin Armstrong, since that opening drive.
Yeah, it feels like a different team offensively on the field right now after looking unstoppable on the first drive. That's part of the game, right? Making adjustments, changing the picture, bringing pressure. We'll see if that punt pays off right here, 3rd and 5.
They're a team that converts 38% of their third downs on the year. Last week against James Madison and that 42-20 loss, they were 4 of 13. Play action pass down the seam, complete to Champ Flemings. He paid for it by the leading tackler on this crew in Malik Shorts, but Flemings holds on to convert for the first down.
Big hit coming across the middle by Shorts, but how about Flemings, listed at 5'6", 155, holding on to that football.
Transfer out of Oregon State. And a give on the handoff to Johnny Lang. He's going nowhere. Jordan Mahaffey makes the tackle.
It'll be second down and 12.
Tackle for loss for the Southern Miss defense. Look at the -4 rushing yards for Arkansas State. Create one-dimensional offense and then rush the passer.
Second down and 12. Blackman might have just changed the play. He's got the ability to do that. A lot of freedom in Coach Heckendorf's offense. Blackman spins this up to Champ Flemings again. All of a sudden, they figured out the coverage scheme of Austin Armstrong at the moment. They've gone right back to the same kind of route tree combination.
Great job by James Blackman getting through his read. You can see he clicked back to Fleming and knew he was coming open in that second window. Instead of panicking, take an extra hitch, trust his protection, and then fire it over the middle.
Back motion in the backfield. Blackman keeps it himself. He is an athletic guy who does not run with the football a lot. It's actually kind of, for me, one of the attributes of his skill set that he doesn't utilize a lot, but you can see the success when he chooses to do so. A nice run here.
Yeah, just the element of surprise you see. He comes up limping there. It'll be something to watch. Looks like he might have rolled up on his right ankle.
He's had 11 completions tonight to 9 different Red Wolves. Trips formation with a tight end to the top of the formation. Pressure coming. He completes to the tight end. This is Traore with the reception, his 3rd reception of the night. Open field tackle made. Arkansas State going up tempo. Coach Heckendorf wanting to sort of force the issue.
You could really see Blackman just standing tall, had a little pressure, but I've been really impressed with his demeanor in the pocket, and his composure and the way he handles himself on the field. He's not rattled by much. He's got bodies flying all around. He's able to stand in there and play the position.
Goes up top, and a penalty flag is coming in. So Valence Hunt and Eric Scott Jr. were working against each other.
Pass interference, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And a little handy by Eric Scott Jr. Here's a look.
Just kind of holding that right arm out. You know, a lot of times when you don't get your head back around and there's contact, that's what the referee sees, and that's where he throws the flag. I'm not sure that ball was catchable, but that's where the debate lies. If he's not holding him off, can he make that a catchable pass? But certainly a big call, puts Arkansas State down inside the 20 and a chance to strike.
A shot of James Blackman, the quarterback. You might wonder, how does a guy who's had a 4-year career at Florida State end up at Arkansas State? Well, Butch Jones told us he had a prior relationship with James Blackman while the coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. He had James Blackman in a camp when he was a youngster and struck up that relationship when he got the job as the head coach of the Red Wolves and was able to convince James to utilize the transfer portal as a grad student and come here to be the quarterback.
That was a read there by Blackman. I believe he hands that football off. Arkansas State walks in the end zone. He was banging his chest. My bad, my bad. I feel like he may have missed a read there. Making those split-second decisions can be tough, but they may have missed an opportunity there.
Arkansas State's in the red zone. They have scored on their last 12 trips to the red zone. A give to Johnny Lang.
Boy, this has been a stout run defense, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. The front 7 for Southern Miss been as tough as you'll find. In fact, with that carry, the Red Wolves just got to positive rushing yards on the night. They're 2 of 4 on 3rd downs on the night is A-State. Blackman looking for Traore. That's one of his favorite targets. Covered up. Really nice coverage on the back end for Southern Miss. Blackman took a shot as he released the football. You also see him hobbling off on your screen as he took that shot with pressure in his face.
Yeah, that right ankle possibly from the run earlier. And then takes a shot there, stands in there and takes it. But there's an example of Austin Armstrong, exactly what he's talking about, affecting the quarterback. Didn't get a sack, but they got a hit, and they had a free runner. Didn't have any extra time to hold on to it, had to get rid of it, and they get off the field and force the field goal attempt.
32-yard attempt from Dominic Zavada, and it's good. Arkansas State extends their lead. The freshman from Chandler, Arizona, puts them on top. 10-0. We'll be back with more Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. Back inside the Rock tonight, Arkansas State, after that 32-yard field goal from Dominic Zavada, leads this one tonight 10-0. AD, your thoughts early in this one?
Well, I think, we mentioned it earlier, 2 really evenly matched teams, and that's kind of what we're getting right now. It's been the miscues from Southern Miss's offense, the interception, the fumbled snap, just the little things that Will Hall had mentioned that he was hoping to get out of his team is just that doing the simple things right and executing. And right now, Arkansas State's doing a little bit more of that than Southern Miss, and that's the difference. But anybody's game at this point.
Tristan Matson set to kick this football away. And he has done so into the end zone, a touchback. And that is a touchback, and the Golden Eagle offense will be on the field when we return with more Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. We're back inside M.M. Roberts Stadium tonight. Jason Baker, Austin Davis. That man having a night. James Blackman, 13 of 15, 126 yards and a touchdown. He's got an 87% completion percentage at the moment, AD. Really effective. That's why his team's on top 10-0 at the moment.
Yeah, his play's been the difference in the ball game so far. And as I mentioned earlier, I've been really impressed with his composure and the way he's playing right now. And on the road, doesn't seem rattled one bit. And takes what the defense gives him, and it's got his team in a good position right now.
It'll be the Southern Miss offense to get started here from their 25 after that touchback. Wilkie to the slot man, Ty Mims, who slips a tackle. Watch this guy go. Across the 45, slips another across the 50. Mims is put down in Red Wolf territory. That sort of ignited this crowd.
What about Mims after the catch? Little pressure off the slot. Zach gets the ball out, and then Mims going backwards, gets free. And just like you said, really ignites this crowd, gets some juice flowing. Sometimes it only takes a play like that from a playmaker to get your team going.
Ty Mims is the freshman from Bay Minette, Alabama. That was a 29-yard reception. He is the leading receiver tonight for Southern Miss. His third reception for 55 yards so far. And a give here to Frank Gore Jr. Boy, that was a dangerous mesh point handoff. Pressure applied up front by Kavon Bennett.
Jason, you take away the Wilkie scramble on the first drive for Southern Miss. Both teams have been very ineffective running the football. This is coming down to what quarterback can outthrow the other quarterback in this game. Both offenses are really struggling to run the ball, and that's something to watch because I can tell you every offensive coordinator wants to have a good rushing attack.
This is a defensive front in Arkansas State who gave up 204 yards rushing last week. Throw going down the field in Ty Mims' direction. He's tangled up with a defender running step for step with Travion Thomas. A penalty flag comes in indicating possible interference. 6th Arkansas State penalty of the night is the initial indication coming here.
Pass interference, defense, number 9. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
It looked like Thomas just got stuck, couldn't get into his back pedal, and then had to grab. You can see he was going to get beat, so you either give up the touchdown or you give up the 15 yards. He makes the decision there. Just go ahead and grab, give him the 15 yards, and save 6 points.
Give the Frank Gore Jr. Hey, look at the push from the Southern Miss offensive line, and give credit to Frank Gore Jr. as well, continuing to churn his legs. Running's not been easy, but I think both offenses and both offensive staffs showing they're committed to continue to do it in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to get into a game where all you're doing is dropping back and passing. The launch point's the same for the quarterback. The defense can tee off on it. You have to mix in the run. You hear coordinators and coaches all the time talk about being balanced. Even though it may not look like it's working, they're still going to force the issue to create that balance.
Jamari Dean gets a carry. This is a guy who showed a lot of promise through fall camp. We'll get it down to the 25-yard line. He was playing cornerback, as in on the defensive side of the ball for the Mississippi State Bulldogs a year ago.
Jannari was a guy early on in training camp and getting into the season we thought we'd see a little more of. We thought we'd get a little more production out of. The Southern Miss fans were excited about, and for whatever reason just hadn't happened for him, but a lot of that has to do with Frank Gore.
Yeah, boy, Frank Gore Jr.'s been good. He continues to be good. He banks his way into the teeth of that Arkansas State defense.
Yeah, just getting in behind those big bodies and short yardage situation. Don't get cute. Find a crease. Get behind your pads and go get the first down.
I want to know how bad Will Hall wants to run the ball. He went two-back set with an H-back in front of him, trying to make sure he gets a little bit of a push. But that's a big injury to the three technique and John Mincy, their senior D tackle. He is a Tennessee transfer. Played at Tennessee under Butch Jones. Guy who's got 6 tackles, and get this, 4 of them have been for losses on the season. He's a guy who can make a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage, and you see him having to be helped off.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. You hate that for Mincy and this team because he is the anchor to that defensive line. Big guy listed at 290 pounds and some change. And so take a look at it here, see if you can see the injury. Just a mosh pit of bodies he probably got rolled up on, but that would be a big loss. Sometimes defensive line effectiveness and their attributes to the team or their assets don't show up on the stat sheet, right? They're taking on double teams, they're freeing up linebackers, and he's a big part of that.
Yeah, I think it speaks for him when he's had the ability to make plays. They've been big plays because I tend to do that. I tend to look at that ratio of how many tackles do you make, how many of them are behind the line of scrimmage, right?
Right.
Zach Wilkes going up top. He has found Jason Brownlee right in the corner of the end zone. They connected 12 times a week ago. Tonight, that's the first catch for Jason Brownlee and a touchdown for the Golden Eagles.
Zach Wilkie taking the one-on-one matchup. This has been a matchup all night. It's been fun to watch with Brownlee and Harris. Harris got him earlier with the interception. And there's the beauty of just throwing up a catchable ball, not overthrowing it. You could say the ball's underthrown, but Harris has got his back turned. And Brownlee looks back, adjusts, and goes and makes the play. That's a big touchdown for Southern Miss. Get back in this game, ignite this crowd.
Jason Brownlee, his middle name, Big Play, because that's all he makes in the black and gold uniform. 4th touchdown reception of the year. Coming back with more. Welcome back to M.M. Roberts Stadium. Zach Wilkie just a moment ago hooking up with Jason Brownlee, the 6th touchdown pass of the season for Zach Wilkie. Sometimes in one of these kind of games where you felt sort of offensive struggles occurring through a first half, when you finally get one on the board, what's it do for you as a quarterback?
It relaxes you, kind of gets the monkey off your back. And, in this ball game, it doesn't look it's going to take much. Southern Miss defense has turned up stout after that first drive, and we've got a good one going.
Yeah, we do. A one-possession game. 10-7 at the moment. This is where, though, I would caution you, if you're watching and wearing those black and gold colored glasses, got to be careful. Briggs Bourgeois has hooked one dead left. Me on the first tee can sympathize, Briggs. That
Kick
one
out
was
of
pulled.
bounds. Number 40, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
It'll be placed on the 35-yard line. That's where the Red Wolves will have their first offensive possession. Just a quick snap hook. Happens to the best of us.
I usually miss right, but either way, I'm probably missing. More find the rough than they do the fairway.
Tell you who's not been missing. One, right there, your QB, Standing at the 30, James Blackman. He's 13 of 15 tonight. Johnny Lang, boy, look at Santrell Latham fill the gap. Johnny Lang picks up a couple on the rush for the Red Wolves. Santrell Latham, second on this team in tackles. The senior out of Meridian, Mississippi. He had 10 tackles last week against Troy.
He's been a surprise of the year, really becoming a cornerstone and a pivotal piece to this unit.
Yeah, it's a thin linebacking core without Swayze Bozeman, without Hayes Maples. Blackman's under pressure. He fires one out complete to Valence Hunt. And Blackman was rocked. I said under pressure. Blackman has been hit quite a few times. By the way, the Arkansas State Red Wolves had a backup in A.J. Mayer, a redshirted junior out of Edgewood, Kentucky, who has taken some snaps this season, 10 of 15. However, this is not A.J. Mayer. This is their third-string quarterback in Javon Daly, who came in, took that one snap, and now James Blackman back on the field.
Yeah, hard to see if Blackman there, I guess he just had to come off the field because his headgear came off. But, man, I've been impressed with him, his ability to stand tall under pressure and deliver the football and take hits. He's a tough cookie.
Jackson Daly, that was his first snap as a quarterback for the Red Wolves this season. This is thrown out to Traore, slips a few tackles, gets across the 50-yard line, going to set up a manageable third down.
That was a really good example of Blackman getting all the way through his progression, all the way to the check down. Great coverage by Southern Miss, locking down these receivers in the secondary. Brings up a big third down.
Pressure showing from the right edge. Blackman's going down. Guess who? One of the most efficient pass rushers in the country, Dominic Kiwan, number 7, right on your screen, coming off the edge.
Yeah, the Southern Miss defensive sack leader coming off the right, just winning with speed, running the loop. And you see there, they just bottle up Blackman in the pocket. Now we got a flag down. But, man, did they just swarm him?
Sideline warning, Southern Miss. That's their first warning of the game.
A little excitement coming from Southern Miss's sideline. May have been Austin Armstrong, like he was doing some high-fiving down the sideline. Defensive coordinator dialing up the pressure. But, you know, Dominic Kiwan's a guy Southern Miss has come accustomed to getting in the backfield and making sacks, and none bigger than that one right there.
Yeah, he leads the team. That was his 6th sack of the season. He's one of the most efficient pass rushers in the country. Ryan Hansen gets off a nice angled kind of coffin corner punt, pins the Golden Eagle offense back deep. They'll begin from inside their 10-yard line when we return to M.M. Roberts with more from Hattiesburg, Mississippi tonight. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN. Red Wolves leading 10-7. Here's another shot of that Dominic Kiwan sack from just a moment ago on James Blackman. Shout out to David Eckert for this work. Dominic Kiwan gets a sack on 15.2 snaps. Every 15.2 snaps he plays, that is tops in the country. He's the most efficient pass rusher. When you've got a guy like that and you put him in and he can make a play, they have almost kind of developed this role for Dominic Kiwan defensively for the Golden Eagles, and he's thrived in it, Austin.
Yeah, it's a pass rush specialist. He's fresh, doesn't play as many snaps, comes in on third down, critical plays in the game, and they really bottled him up right there in the pocket. Blackman had nowhere to go, and here goes Southern Miss with the ball.
Couple of runs and a first down for Southern Miss. Frank Gore Jr. all of a sudden finding a little bit of space in that gap scheme like you talked about, Austin. All of a sudden you throw the ball to Jason Brownlee in a touchdown, and you've got a little bit of space. Here's the night for Frank Gore Jr. thus far.
Yeah, I'm looking for Southern Miss to come back off of the gap scheme with a play action because linebackers read those guards and tackles pulling. As soon as they see that, they read run, they get downhill. Wouldn't be surprised if Southern Miss comes up with a play action off of it at some point in this game.
Here it is. Nobody was open. Nobody was there either. Really heads-up play, though, by Zach Wilkie to avoid the pressure, get it downfield, past the point of the line of scrimmage to avoid an intentional grounding.
Yeah, two-receiver concept. Looked like a double post up at the top. Wilkie gets flushed to the right, nowhere to go.
Officials timeout.
Good job getting rid of it.
Injured Red Wolf, that's Kenneth Harris. He's got one of the interceptions on the night for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, he's
Also
really
Zach
been the
Wilkie.
guy covering Brownlee, right? So you got to feel like he's their top corner, and they trust him in the one-on-one matchup that Brownlee won. You mentioned the interception from Harris. It would be a big loss.
Yeah, it really would. They're checking him out. His backup would be Sammy Johnson, a 5'10", 192-pound junior out of Little Rock, Arkansas. So you see him checking out the lower leg injury on Kenneth Harris at the moment.
I feel like this is important. As we talked about, maybe the starting lineups being pretty evenly matched, but Southern Miss maybe being a hair deeper than Arkansas State. Talking to coaches through the week, doing the research, kind of felt like Southern Miss might be deeper, but starting lineup's pretty evenly matched.
Well, you referenced the matchup, right? We understand from what we've watched when they've been in man coverage tonight, it has been Kenneth Harris on Jason Brownlee. So you have to understand, at least at this point, while Brownlee's got the one catch for the one touchdown, now all of a sudden there's a matchup, if you're in the black and gold, that you understand could be exploited, correct?
Yeah, you feel like Harris is winning the battle right now, right? Because, like you said, Brownlee's only got the one catch, but, you know, who takes his place? Can he return to the game? That's something we'll keep an eye on.
Remember, too, they lost John Mincy just a moment ago as well, one of their defensive linemen who's not in at the moment. Red Wolves broke that huddle with about 15 men on the field. They had to run a couple men off. Jason Brownlee, by the way, is right at the bottom of this formation. See if we take a shot. Give here to Frank Gore Jr. in space. He will have enough for another Golden Eagle first down. What was a running game that has been negated for quite a bit. All of a sudden, Austin has kind of sprung to life on this drive.
Yeah, Arkansas State's actually in a three-safety look. Only three down linemen, two linebackers, a light box. You can see it here again. It's a five-man box for this Southern Miss offense to run against.
Showing pressure off the edge. Quick out, Ty Mims, another reception.
Man, he makes the first guy miss every time, doesn't he?
It's a good trait to have when you're considered to be the fastest Golden Eagle on the team.
Get it to the playmakers in space. Watch Mims get vertical. Nice job blocking on the edge. By 17 there. Latrell Jones.
This is Luke Baker, the tight end, with a reception. He as well breaks a tackle. Down to the 41-yard line.
Timeout, Southern Miss. That's their first timeout of the first half. Please
Timeout
reset
taken
game
by
clock
Will
to
Hall.
1:18. 1:18. Thank you.
So I'm going to reset the clock. There's a look at that Luke Baker timeout. All right, Austin, take us inside Zach Wilkie's helmet for a moment. You've been in Zach Wilkie's shoes. You've been in James Blackman's shoes, not in a 6-year, but you were a 5th-year guy. All of a sudden, what was a quarterback battle that we featured in our open, and we certainly watched James Blackman get off to a hot start. And look, he's having a night. He's 15-17. Blackman's not playing bad. But Zach Wilkie, I wouldn't have said got off to the best of starts, but he's found something all of a sudden. I would say he has sort of kind of found his rhythm. Why?
It's like we mentioned, the run games are starting to die a little bit, so we've got Blackman versus Wilkie. And Wilkie just seems like he's getting comfortable. Like you said, they get the first touchdown. He takes his one-on-one matchup to Brownlee, starting to find a rhythm, starting to get a feel. And then you got to give credit to Southern Miss offensive line. Protected him, keeping him upright. And really got an opportunity here with 1:18 to go in the half to take the lead. And after what seemed like Arkansas State had the momentum, had the game at hand, and now all of a sudden we could be going into halftime with a lead change.
Yeah, and don't forget the Golden Eagles, as you see on your screen, they could look to double up here. They receive the second half kickoff. Give Frank Gore Jr. straight ahead. It'll be a loss of one on the play.
Tackle for a 1-yard loss.
Plenty of time for Southern Miss with 2 timeouts, just outside of a minute. The thing you don't want to lose here is the run game, right? You don't have to be scared. Even though it's a 2-minute situation, you can still run the ball. You're near the plus 40. Plenty of time here.
2 safety look from the Red Wolves. That's Baker across the formation. Try to have him reveal that coverage. Wilkie push from the pocket. He's going to fire incomplete.
Wilkie's pass incomplete.
So decision time for Will Hall. 4th and 5. We watched him punt one earlier from just inside of this range. Looks like he may be opting to go for it. All indications are he's leaving the offense on the field. Quite the gamble. Southern Miss on the season, 4 of 7 on 4th downs.
Watch this Arkansas State secondary. You see these 2 safeties. They've done a good job all night of showing one look and then twisting the picture on Zach.
Quick pull, quick out to Ty Mims. By the way, Ty Mims entered tonight with 2 receptions on the season for 34 yards. He has just hauled in his 5th reception of the night. He's got over 70 yards receiving.
Had to catch it twice.
Wilkie overthrew Jason Brownlee, a mistake. And Arkansas State, who came in with 1 interception on the night, now has another. An interception made by Eddie Smith, the redshirt junior out of Slidell, Louisiana. They intercept Zach Wilkie for the 2nd time tonight, and a critical turnover on a very crucial drive here with 11 seconds to go before the half.
Yeah, it looks like he had a receiver open over the middle. You can tell the ball just comes out funny. He had Brownlee. Ball comes out high, low elbow, sails to the safety, and you can see Will Hall grab Zach as he got to the sideline. He knows that's a pivotal moment. You can see him right here. He's frustrated. There's not a lot of answers for that. It's just a miss, and it's a big miss. And he's got to respond to that. His coach has got to rally around him. He's got to respond as well.
Arkansas State's happy with the results of this first half. 10-7 at the half inside Roberts Stadium tonight. Halftime at homecoming. We'll be back with more Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. Welcome back to Roberts Stadium as we get ready to start the 3rd quarter on what's just been a whale of a football game. Austin Davis, 10-7. Did you expect anything less when you bring the Sun Belt Conference to Hattiesburg, Mississippi?
Yeah, we're really getting exactly what we expected, right? 2 evenly matched teams, 2 Western Division Sun Belt Conference teams that are fighting and clawing for a big conference win tonight. It's going to take all 60 minutes. It's going to take a big second half. And it'll be exciting to see who steps up, what playmaker makes that big play to get it done.
Tristan Matson approaches the football. He has sent one 7 yards deep into the end zone over the head of Latrell Jones. The kick return man out of Pearl River Community College for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Great shot of Will Hall, the second-year head coach of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, with his freshman quarterback Zach Wilkie. The first half stats. What jumps out at you?
Arkansas State's inability to rush the ball. Southern Miss doing a great job. Force them to be one-dimensional. And then Southern Miss balanced attack, just the turnovers and the miscues.
I think if you took a poll of the patrons that were inside this stadium and you asked who had more total yards in the first half, I don't think there would be many that would have answered the Golden Eagles.
Right, yeah, they've been hidden. They've actually done a good job sticking with the run game, as we mentioned earlier, kind of plugging away at 3 or 4 yards a carry, trying to stay efficient and be quarterback friendly.
Pressure being shown, pressure being applied. Quick out, right back to Ty Mims. Got his hands underneath the football and a reception made, his 6th reception of the night.
Going with a hot hand in Mims, just creating separation on the quick out route from the slot. A little bit more there if Zach can get that ball up and hit him in stride on the run. There's some hidden yardage there.
Third and short. I don't think the Golden Eagles got there. This Arkansas State Red Wolves defense saying they didn't. Jordan Carmouche right in the middle of that defense. Come up and made the stop there. Mike Backer.
Yeah, great job right there. You can see it just plugs the gap. And decision time for Southern Miss, and looks like they were going to try to go. We've got whistle blows it dead.
They were under center for the first time tonight. That was an inadvertent whistle, evidently. Boy, you could see the coaching staff for Southern Miss a little puzzled. They had snapped the football.
And that's going to change Will Hall's decision. He was trying to go fast. He was trying to catch him off guard, go quarterback sneak, get the first down. Here backed up in his own territory at the minus 34-yard line. Would have been a big risk, but wanted to do it. Now that the clock is stopped, he's going to go ahead and punt it away.
Mason Hunt. Direct kick. And a fair catch called for. That might have been a bit of a mistake. That could have been a returnable tight kick by a dangerous return man in Johnny Lang, but instead he takes the fair catch at the 21-yard line. And the Red Wolf offense will jog back out onto the field. James Blackman has yet to record, listen to this, has yet to record consecutive incompletions on his 17 attempts. In other words, if he's had an incompletion, he's followed it up with a completion.
Yeah, 15 to 17. A lot more completions than incompletions. He's been highly efficient and productive.
They're trying to get the run game going, are the Red Wolves. Jalen Williams, the big nose tackle, out sprinting to turn Johnny Lang back into the teeth of the defense. Dalen Gill, the linebacker, there to make the stop. Just a pickup of maybe 1 for 2nd down and 9.
See Latham there on the edge, just stretch it out, stretch it out. Stanley comes from the safety position. Good job just keeping that play going horizontal, not letting him get up the field.
They rushed for negative 4 yards in the first half to the Red Wolves. Blackman delivers a strike to Seydou Traore, who was the first tight end for the Red Wolves to go over 100-plus yards receiving since 2016. He had 120 yards receiving against Memphis in a loss earlier this year. He's 3rd in the FBS amongst tight ends in receiving yards.
Well, he's a problem matched up against linebackers.
3rd and short, they'll look at him here. They'll fire across the middle, boy. Rocked is Adam Jones. He hangs on. Does he have enough for the first down?
Pass complete to the 31-yard line.
So the miss brings pressure up the middle, and there's the hit by Stanley. Here comes Jones, and
well, they got quite a favorable forward progress spot. They could possibly review this. It's up to the 31-yard line.
Ball spotted for a first down. Arkansas
Crowd's not
State.
happy about that one.
Jones didn't look like he was across the 30-yard line. But instead we'll run a play. Johnny Lang, a little bobbled handoff. Quentin Bivens, the first man at the point of contact.
Johnny Lang with the carry.
It's a good job by the Red Wolves, recognizing they were got the first down. Hurried up, got their play call in, and ran the play before the play could be reviewed.
Right, a little unsure if they picked it up, get a play off. More so about the lack of the challenge than it was the yardage on that play. Brings up a 2nd and 9.
We've mentioned the experience of James Blackman, the quarterback, but get this, 78.9% of the roster for the Red Wolves are underclassmen, either freshmen or sophomore. That equates to 101 official rostered Red Wolves are underclassmen. So despite they've got the trigger man in James Blackman as a 6-year senior, he's got a lot of youth around him, Austin.
Right, and that's what Coach Jones said. He was trying to build a program, and a lot of times youth can be really good in that. You get a lot of experience, and these guys get to play together for many, many years, and then you can really build something over time.
Traore's got another reception, the tight end down the field. They may list him as a tight end, and he may look like a tight end, but he doesn't run like that. Watch him here coming across your
On
screen.
the right side of your screen there, so he just gets lost in behind the linebackers. Outside receivers just clearing it out, running a post. There's no corner left in that single high defense.
He's down there.
Tight end getting free. He is a somewhat of a hybrid, wouldn't you say, Jason, between a big tight end and a receiver?
Blackman right down the middle into the red zone. A reception picked up by Reagan Ely, the sophomore out of Plant City, Florida.
There's the Arkansas State offensive rhythm we saw earlier in the game.
For Red Wolves first down.
It's a passing offense approaching over 200 yards.
Here's where Austin Armstrong will hit that old familiar pressure button. Try to create.
That's Traore in motion. They'll give to Johnny Lang. Lang knifes his way forward. Down to the 11.
Johnny Lang with the carry.
He was a triple option quarterback, was Lang in high school.
Second down and 2.
He is also a guy who earlier this year against Louisiana Monroe in a win had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Dynamic and versatile. He's a key player in everything they're trying to do offensively. They're just trying to find ways to get him the ball in space.
That's him in motion back to the backfield alongside the left of James Blackman. Johnny Lang Jr. Little shift of the hips inside the 10.
Johnny Lang, the ball carrier.
It's not been a lot of running room, but all of a sudden, if please keep this in perspective, they had -4 rushing yards when we began this second half. They now are up over 6 total rushing yards for the game. They're just beginning to get a little bit of ground game going, Austin, just enough to be effective.
Yeah, you can feel the rhythm of the offense here.
Blackman, just like that, in rhythm.
Pass complete.
Touchdown reception made. Guess who? Jeff Foreman, his second of the night. They like him down there in the red zone, and they find him for a touchdown. They begin the second half much like they began the first.
Yeah, play action pass. Blackman rides the running back down to the line of scrimmage. Southern Miss linebackers step up. No one's behind him. Gets the ball to Foreman for a nice touchdown. That's a really big drive by Arkansas State to kind of reestablish what should be a 10-point lead after this play, kind of create that 2-possession game.
Dominic Zavada splits the uprights here at M.M. Roberts Stadium, and the Red Wolves regain control. They lead by 10. Back with more. What a conversation we got to have with that man, the head coach of the Red Wolves, Butch Jones. First class all the way. A guy who went and spent 3 years within the Alabama Crimson Tide program. Said he wanted to take a job when he was ready. And he was ready when the Red Wolves came calling after a name of a guy in Blake Anderson who moved on to the Utah State job, a name that's very familiar to those in the black and gold in Hattiesburg. Your offensive coordinator here during your time at Southern Miss. And Butch Jones said, I'm going to do it the right way, much like what a lot of black and gold fans have been hearing from Will Hall. Butch Jones is building the same thing in Jonesboro right now.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of college football coaches over the last couple of years. They go to Alabama as an analyst. They sit, they watch Nick Saban for a handful of years. It's almost a resurrection of their career. Then they go get that next head job, and they feel way more prepared, and they really gain a lot of valuable experience, and then they have a lot of success at their next stop.
Tristan Matson sends one a couple of yards deep in the end zone. And this Golden Eagle offense will have an opportunity to respond. It will take Zach Wilkie in this offensive unit to do it. For Wilkie, what does he need to do here, Austin, to begin to get going into rhythm?
Well, this is a situation here. You're down 10, right? So you can't get it all back in one drive, and there's plenty of time left in the ballgame. So you just want to create positive plays, get the offense feeling good about themselves, get back into rhythm, and that's a good start, handing it off to Frank Gore. Flag coming in. Looks like this one might come back.
Frank Gore Jr. in space is a good way.
33 offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. We'll replay first down.
You can see the dismay on Cole Cavallo's face as he was called for holding.
We'll get a look at 33 here, working up to the second level. His hands get outside. There's the jersey pull. Frank Gore cuts right. Cavallo's he's got his hands inside, which is what's taught. Get your hands inside. They won't call holding. They won't call holding. But as soon as the defender goes to separate, now that jersey gets pulled. They see the jersey and they throw it. So it's just a matter of, you can really get away with grabbing as long as your hands are inside, but you got to know when to let go when the defender redirects. And that's happened to Southern Miss twice tonight.
Sets up 1st and 20. Play action pass. Wilkie wants to dump it off. They go to Cole Cavallo. They give him a chance to avenge his mistake, and he does. He gets it up to the 30-yard line. Really nice pitch and catch here from Zach Wilkie.
Cavallo on the shallow cross. He'll trade a holding call in for a reception and some passing yards, I'm sure, if you asked him in private. Back us up and then throw it to me.
It's his 6th reception of the season. It's him in motion just off the right tackle. Paul Gaynor Jr. Handoff here. Going nowhere is Frank Gore Jr. on the tackle for the Red Wolves. Making that first initial contact was Dane Motley, the red-shirted sophomore linebacker out of Alpharetta, Georgia.
Yeah, Southern Miss continuing with the gap schemes, and he did a nice job just squeezing it down, not creating any space, bottling up Frank Gore.
Luke Baker's the lone wide out here. Wheel route. Frank Gore Jr.'s got it. He stays in bounds. Across the field, inside the 25 to the 20-yard line. There is a penalty flag down.
There's a flag of the play.
Pass interference, 88 offense. That penalty being enforced from the previous spot. We'll replay third down.
That's bad news on Luke Baker, but even worse news is right here. Frank Gore Jr. down at the end of the play. Athletic trainer Todd McCall out the check on FGJ. Miss went with the pick play, and I think they got called for it.
Yeah, it's a man concept trying to get Frank Gore down the sidelines. Probably matched up on a linebacker.
Official timeout.
And looks like Baker may have just gotten a little too much. Turns his shoulders. Sometimes you got to make the guy avoid you but not make contact. That's the coaching point, is you want him to go underneath you because Frank Gore is going over the top. but you want to get next to him and then avoid the contact so you don't get the flag. Because a lot of times the official, they just see the contact and they bang the flag right there. So you see these man-pick plays all across football. There's really an art to creating the traffic but not getting the pass interference call.
So a big penalty, a flip in field position of about 65 yards. Would have had the football at the 20. You now have it at your own 15.
You know, we got to talk about miscues and just sloppy football. You got to mention penalties too, right? That's been a big hiccup for Southern Miss in this game. Seems like every time they get a rhythm, there it is. And really both teams have had a lot of penalties. You see there on the bottom of your screen. But 3rd and 20, I don't care how many games you've played at quarterback, 3rd and 20 is not an easy position to be in to convert this first down.
Wilkie, everyone was covered. Red Wolves seemed like they had dropped everyone. Wilkie keeps it himself. Doesn't do too much with it. The Red Wolves, a turnover on 3rd down, sets up 4th and long, and now it'll be Mason Hunt set to try to drive Johnny Lang back.
Give a lot of credit to this Red Wolves defense. They've been stingy. Really a one-on-one ball to Brownlee. That's really been it. Southern Miss has plugged away in the run game a hair, but only 7 points on the board to show for it.
Johnny Lang receives this punt, tries to slip a couple tackles, gets a nice block. Penalty flags fly, and a really good job by the coverage team. Boy, I thought when Lang slipped those first couple tackles, he had sort of his return set up. He's a guy who had a 63-yard punt return for a touchdown off against Tulsa last year. Looks like maybe a block in the back. Here's our referee, Ted Pitts.
Block in the back, receiving team during the return. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and it'll be first down.
You see that play right there on number 9. Just gets him in the back, just clips him.
Just enough for the penalty. It'll be the Red Wolves with the football when we come back to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Shot of the Red Wolf offense. Austin Davis. James Blackman is having a night.
Yeah, take a look at this drive here. And, you know, Arkansas State just gets back in their rhythm, starting with the run game. They were good and balanced. Picks up the first down here, getting the ball out, getting completions, guys doing things in space, and really looked like they did on the first drive. And then it goes back to his all-familiar friend Foreman for the touchdown. So they look good. They look better there. It looked like a team that's ready to seize this game and create some separation.
Want to know how good James Blackman has been tonight? These have been his completion streaks. He's had a completion streak of 6 and incompletion, 7 straight completions and incompletion, and he's in the midst of an 8 straight completion streak. He's been red hot, kind of like a good pitcher, just kind of finding his rhythm with a good fastball and spotting it up. That's what James Blackman's been like.
Yeah, he's been the best player on the field, and all that experience, all those games he's played, he's really shining tonight.
And off to Johnny Lang. Cam Harrell, who was a game-time decision tonight for Southern Miss, makes the tackle on Johnny Lang Jr. Sets up a 3rd down and 5.
Good look there of Southern Miss defense, just holding gap responsibility in the run game. There's Cam Harrell coming up, making a form tackle. Big 3rd and 6.
They converted 38% on 3rd down on the season. They were 4 of 13 against James Madison University last week. Johnny Lang Jr. has a first down. They keep it on the ground. Might be the first down tonight I think they have picked up on the ground.
Excellent job by the offensive line for Arkansas State. Southern Miss brings pressure away from the run, which means the D-line is slanting that way, but they get it cut off. Big job doing that in the zone run game.
Big Mekhi Butler, the right guard, the red-shirted sophomore, 6'3", 332 pounds. Johnny Lang Jr. stays on his feet. kind of ridden down by Jay Stanley.
Get the sense that you're starting to see maybe a tired Southern Miss defense, right? They're just kind of wearing on them, and that's the benefit of sticking with a run game. You say, well, -4 rushing yards earlier in the game, we'll just start throwing it. We can't. Well, that's not playing the game within the game. Good job by Keith Heckendorf, the offensive coordinator for this Red Wolves team, understanding what the run game does and sticking with it.
James Blackman spins one out to Mike Sharp II, who receives that football. Actually be a loss on the play, though. Probably the wrong read. Blackman, by the way, over his last 222 passing attempts, 1 interception.
Second down, 15.
Love that.
That's really good.
That's really good.
That goes all the way back to last season, by the way. Cam Harrell showing some pressure off the edge. They'll give it. This is Brian Sneed. Nope, check that. Actually, not
Jaquez
Sneed
Cross
with the carry. Slipping Jaquez Cross, the red-shirted freshman out of Fordyce, Arkansas, a Purdue transfer into the backfield with his first carry of the season for the Red Wolves. Third and 7.
Southern Miss showing internal pressure.
Traore in motion. Blackman, high throw, incomplete. You said it, Austin Armstrong tends to hit that pressure button in those known throwing downs, and he hit it right there, and they were able to get to Blackman and affect him there.
Exactly. Blackman's trying to throw an out route, which is a timing and rhythm throw. He's supposed to hit his third foot and let the ball go. But here he takes a quick 5, and you see the pressure. He has to get rid of it. Receiver's not looking yet because he's not ready. Does the pressure create the sack? No. But it affects the play and affects the timing of the passing concept. Nice job getting off the field by Southern Miss.
Ryan Hansen came in averaging 44.9 yards per punt on the season. He has knocked one dead at the 8. We'll be back with the Southern Miss Golden Eagle offense on the field.
Timeout on the field.
Welcome back to M.M. Roberts Stadium. 24 is Jake Lang, the sophomore out of Jackson, Mississippi. Just a wonderful young man. He is a walk-on student athlete for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. He was put into a role last year in reserve in place of Ty Keys due to the injuries at the quarterback position. He threw for over 300 yards. He was the only quarterback last year for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles to throw for 300 yards. He did that against Rice. Get this. He made his collegiate debut in that game, threw for 300 yards, all while his parents watched from Paris. Good news tonight. His parents are here, by the way, tonight to watch Jake, who has been inserted as the quarterback for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles at the
Will
moment.
Hall looking for a spark. No indication that Zach's injured. I think he's just going with the different arm to try to create something.
Up top to Cole Cavallo. That pass is batted away. Crowd here inside M.M. Roberts thought there was a lot of contact. Here's a look.
You know, Jason, this is a scene as we take a look there at the play to Cavallo. That could have gone either way, but this is a scene Southern Miss fans are all too used to. Multiple quarterbacks, and typically within a program, multiple quarterbacks and success do not go together. So they're looking to find someone to take this team and lead them.
Frank Gore Jr. motion, high snap. They're going to Frank Gore Jr. here, and that is incomplete. Thrown low to Frank Gore Jr., and you almost sense a little bit of frustration offensively. Here's another look at this high snap. That was nearly almost snapped over the head of Jake Lang.
Yeah, you may look at that and say, well, he's still able to handle it, still get the ball pushed, but offensive football is so much about efficiency and being clean that sometimes just this or that small mistake can affect the whole play for a quarterback. So you're starting to see just those little miscues for this offense are causing them to struggle.
A lot of shifting and a timeout called here by Southern Miss.
Timeout.
Their punt
Southern
unit
Miss.
did not look
That's their
comfortable
first
with the
timeout
punt
of the
block
second half.
formation that the Red Wolves were applying. Mason Hunt was going to be standing at about 8 yards deep in his own end zone. Mason Hunt on the night averaging
This will be a
40 and a
30-second
half
timeout.
yards per punt. He's hit one 45. Really at this moment, Arkansas State with 1:09 left in his third quarter, trying to grasp this game by the throat, and they've got you pinned deep. You almost get that feeling they're looking for a big play in a score and beginning to really, truly take control.
Yeah, you can feel the momentum of the game moving in their direction. Southern Miss backed up. You assume here Arkansas State's going to get great field position, a chance to go score, and really blow this game wide open.
See what kind of punt formation Southern Miss utilizes here. How many come for Arkansas State? Remember, they have as dangerous of a return man in the Sun Belt as you'll find. Yeah, they were coming after it.
A lot of movement there from the Red Wolves, getting ready to pressure the punter.
Prior to snap, false start. Multiple players on the offensive line. That's a half the distance to the goal. Still fourth down.
It's going to pin them a little bit deeper for the Golden Eagles. He's spotted inside the 4-yard line is where the ball will be spotted. Now you see Mason Hunt with, what, I guess about a half a yard between his back of his heel and the back of the end zone.
Typically, you snap about 14 yards, so once you get to that 3-yard line, you start to, as you notice, he drops the snap.
The Red Wolves are getting ready.
Is the ball touched out of bounds? Therefore, we have a safety.
The Red Wolves are getting ready to do their safety dance.
Yes, they are.
Their safety dance is rocking on that sideline, and now they get points and the football.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're talking about, right? Unforced error. Arkansas State did nothing to create this, but they benefit from the bobbled snap there by Hunt.
Tell you what also the Red Wolves have done. They have brought what is a really, really good crowd into M.M. Roberts tonight to a standstill in a hush. And truly have taken control. And look, I think it should be stated, we've talked a lot about James Blackman in the offensive unit. Keith Heckendorf, their offensive coordinator, has called a whale of a football game. Austin, he has really mixed it up offensively and has allowed his seasoned and veteran quarterback to play the way that you would expect him to play.
Yeah, your number one job as an offensive coordinator is to protect your quarterback and help him play good football and efficiently, whatever that is. If that means handing the ball off 35 times, if that means quick game, it doesn't matter. If your quarterback's playing well, then you're calling a good game on offense, and that's exactly what he's done. James Blackman's having a career night tonight, and he hasn't, you won't want to say this, but he hasn't done anything special per se. He's just been highly, highly efficient over and over and over, and that in and of itself is hard to do and pretty special.
And look, Keith Heckendorf, he knows really good quarterback play. He was a good one in his own right. He was the runner-up to the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is the equivalent to the Heisman Trophy Award at the Division II level. The winner of that trophy that year, Will Hall.
Wow, what a
the
small
head
world.
coach of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
You know, Heckendorf cut his teeth with Coach Fedora, who obviously I had a lot of experience with, and Coach Anderson, Blake Anderson at North Carolina. So know a little bit about how this offense is built as far as the efficiency and the high completion percentage. And, you know, old school you'd say 60%, you know, 55% maybe was good, but in this system, we're shooting for 70% completion. That's kind of how it's built, and he's way above that even tonight.
Yeah, he's at 88% completion percentages. James
That's
Blackman.
not normal.
No, that's not. 22 of 25 from the quarterback tonight at Arkansas State.
But there's power in these completions, and there's momentum and there's confidence, and it's all built around that. You hear a lot of coaches say quarterback-friendly system, and you want your quarterback to play well. And this has really been a group effort from Arkansas State. Coordinator, they've made the plays Foreman at receiver. Number 14's made plays down the field. Because as we know, this is a Southern Miss defense that's pretty well touted and has done a good job so far this season.
One other little nugget on Keith Heckendorf, kind of a cool nugget in this world. He recruited Zach Taylor to Nebraska. Yes, that Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Fourth quarter's on tap when we come back to Hattiesburg. Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN tonight. This might tell the story tonight. The rushing yards by quarter. Arkansas State had nothing going through 2 quarters. They get 60 yards rushing into third. And AD, they grabbed control of the football game. At least it feels like at the moment. It's a 12-point margin, which is not insurmountable. Let's state that. But, boy, it feels like it right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've stuck to their game plan. They didn't let any of the early run game struggles get them out of what they wanted to do, and you could see it in that third quarter rushing for 60. And regardless of how you want to move the ball down the field when you get ahead late in the game, just about every offensive coordinator is going to tell you they want to win the game one way, and that's by running out the clock, being physical, handing the ball off, and taking the will of the defense and an entire team. And wouldn't be surprised if you see that from Arkansas State right here and try to seize this one.
Some third downs are bigger than others. This one at the moment for this Golden Eagle defense seems massive.
They've emptied the middle of the field.
Trips formation to the bottom.
Heavy box.
Yeah, it's Jaquez Cross to the right of Blackman. A lot of guys in motion. See if the Red Wolves didn't like their play.
Timeout, Arkansas State. That's their first timeout of the second half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
That's exactly what it was. Keith Heckendorf didn't necessarily like the play call against that defensive formation. So let's play devil's advocate for a moment. It's a 3rd and 2. If you're Will Hall and Austin Armstrong, how do you get back in this football game?
I think a turnover, you got to sell out for a big play. Probably create some, they're going to, Southern Miss is going to bring pressure, but it's going to take a turnover. It's going to take something like that to kind of shift the momentum of the game. I don't see Arkansas State doing anything crazy from going forward on 4th down. They feel like they have the game at hand here. So, but Southern Miss got to create something. And at this point in the ball game, it looks like it's going to have to come from their defense.
Watch 7. That's Dominic Kiwan, the leader in sacks for this club. They leave it with Johnny Lang. He has the first down and a really nice run for Arkansas State into Golden Eagle territory. They're beginning to win up front.
This is a really good run to highlight Lang's balance. In and out, one step, 1 foot at a time, just kind of crawling through. Really took a 2 or 3 yard gain and made it more.
He's a senior out of Palmetto, Florida, transferred from Iowa State. Has over 1,000 yards of all-purpose yards on the season. Dominic Kiwan, look at that get off the edge. It's a TFL, a tackle for loss against Johnny Lang Jr.
Yeah, there's Kiwan coming off the left side. Southern Miss bringing pressure. No surprise there, but an extra gap defender outside of him allows him to just attack the running back and not worried about the quarterback pulling. Really just a better defensive call and offensive call on that play.
Blackman to Jaquez Cross. Forced out of bounds. The 36-yard line. Dalen Gill out in space to force Cross out of bounds.
This is a great example of just this offense and how it's built. It's a swing pass, right? It's 2nd and 12. But look what it just created. On a 2nd and 12, they get 8 yards, and now they're in a 3rd and 4, manageable. And there's nothing difficult about that throw and catch. And that's just the beauty of this system and Heckendorf and everything he's doing.
Boy, Jay Stanley like to came up with the turnover you just tried to call for a moment ago if you were Austin Armstrong and Will Hall. Watch Jay Stanley here.
And this is what you're going to get, right? this defense feeling that pressure to go make a play. They can be a little more aggressive. If they double move, they double move. Jump a route, try to make a play. If they get behind you, they get behind you. But it's that point in the ball game where you're trying to create something knowing that you're 2 touchdowns away from getting back in this game.
Dominic Zavada, a 54-yard attempt. His long is 46. Southern Miss has blocked a field goal this season already. They nearly blocked this one, but a whistle before the snap, and it was a delay of game.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, kicking team. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
For the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, that may be the most unfortunate delay of game in the history of delay of game penalties.
Yeah, as that play clock gets down low and you're rushing the passer or rushing a field goal, you can start timing it up based on the clock because you know they have to snap the ball at 1. You can get a really good jump. If not, it's the delay of game as you saw.
So the penalty takes him out of field goal range opportunity. Puts Hansen on the field, who is going to try to knock one dead inside the 10. He has done so. Natron Brooks calls for the fair catch at the 5. It'll be the Golden Eagle offense trying to march 95 yards when we return tonight. 19-7 Arkansas State. Now we await the decision of who's going to navigate the offense for the Golden Eagles, and the decision here is Jake Lang at the moment. Zach Wilkie was in that offensive huddle with his helmet on. Of course, we've been given no report as to why Jake Lang has been inserted into this ball game. The assumption for us to make, at least at this moment, is just trying to find a spark within this Golden Eagle offense. Lang spinning one. Jason Brownlee fighting for one. Can't come up with it, but a penalty flag comes in. Remember, too, Arkansas State, by the way, without their top
Pass
corner.
interference, number 2 defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic 1st down.
They have moved over Leon Jones, who's called for this penalty. He is a native of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Actually played at North Forest High School, located about 9 miles from the Rock.
Yeah, just one-on-one ball. Nice job by Lang taking the opportunity to put a ball up for Brownlee and take advantage of Arkansas State being down a corner and drawing the pass interference.
Mays snaps it back to Lang. He's going to go out to Jason Brownlee. A low ball that is received by Brownlee for just a couple of yards. Brownlee, that is, by the way, just his 2nd reception of the night. His other was a 21-yard touchdown reception, the only score for the Golden Eagles tonight.
I think a big difference in the ballgame has been just quarterback accuracy for both teams.
Lang down the field to Frank Gore Jr. That could be an added dimension to this Golden Eagle offense. Get Frank going here out in space. FGJ runs off the field, too, a little bit banged up.
There's an accurate throw there to Frank Gore, but point being, the yards after the catch has been a big difference for Arkansas State, able to create with accurate passes, and a lot of Southern Miss receivers having to go down low and make a catch or reach behind them, and that really does away with their ability to create after the fact. And just a small detail that's really made a big difference.
Play action pass knocked up in the air. That was a great job by Jake Lang and that defender who got their hand on it. Getting his hand on it was Kevon Bennett, but Lang had to fight to keep it from being intercepted, Austin.
Yeah, he went from an offensive player to a defensive player really quick. Did a nice job with his right hand, getting it in there and ripping it away.
You're fighting a guy in Kevon Bennett, 6'2", 241 pounds.
Size, but not outmatched.
Frank Gore Jr., football guy, and Frank Gore Jr. getting taped back up along that Golden Eagle sideline. Here goes Janari Dean stretching it out, picks up the first down up to the 47-yard line.
Watch the right guard here getting around, clearing space in the B gap. And now Southern Miss with a little rhythm, getting the ball out towards midfield.
Brownlee sets that route down just shy of the first down. If you believe in rhythm, you can watch offenses, and it seems like all of a sudden now for Southern Miss, they have sort of found a rhythm, Austin.
Yeah, this drive has been more efficient for sure, and here goes Dean again.
Janari Dean fighting for an opportunity, and he has gotten one down to the 30-yard line. Young man who ran the football for a high school here in the state of Mississippi named South Panola High School.
Just the change up to the run scheme there. The guard pulls around, and now it bounces outside. You saw the linebacker step up, expecting an inside run. He does a nice job bouncing it out.
Lang's going to Mims, and Ty Mims can't haul it in. Really nice throw. Only Mims can make a play on the ball.
Yeah, that was a great throw. Outside shoulders, an inside fade route from Mims. You know you got the matchup you want. On a safety, beat him with speed. Everything there is there except for the final execution, pulling in. Maybe a hair wide, but not really. Mims would love to run that one back.
Janari Dean is the running back right at Jake Lang. Lang's going to spin this out to Ty Mims. Really good coverage applied by the secondary. Travion Thomas. This is a secondary that has been susceptible to big plays coming in. They have not played that way tonight.
Yeah, for the most part, they've done a good job taking away the explosive plays. And when you make an offense methodically drive down the field, go 10 to 12, 10, 11, 12 play drives, eventually a mistake's likely. So that's what they've done a good job of tonight, making it hard.
Frank Gore Jr. has returned to the field for Southern Miss. He is right of the quarterback, Jake Lang. Redshirted sophomore out of Jackson Prep High School. Frank Gore Jr. in space. Here he comes, near boundary, looking for a block. Got one. Ty Mims doing it all. And Frank Gore Jr. has found the end zone in M.M. Roberts Stadium tonight. 30-yard touchdown run.
What a play call by Will Hall on 3rd and 10 to hand that football off. Arkansas State expecting pass 10 out of 10, and Frank Gore does the rest. That is creative play calling, getting the ball to your best player in a big moment, and just like that, you're right back in this game.
Low snap, good hold by Jake Lang. Briggs Bourgeois has made this a 5-point football game. With 9:20 to play in the fourth quarter, that man got loose. Frank Gore Jr., watch him hit the R1 button on the PlayStation controller right there. Coming back with more inside M.M. Roberts Stadium. That is Frank Gore Jr., football guy. That's how Will Hall describes him. You mentioned it, Austin Davis. 3rd and 10. Sometimes you just got to give the ball to maybe your best football guy. And this is the drive for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
That's a really good drive, and sometimes just catching them by surprise on a 3rd and 10 and handing it off is never anything wrong with getting the ball to your best player on offense. And Frank Gore rewarded him for that. And it's a situation in the ball game too, where if it's 3rd and 10, you hand it off and you get 5, you're probably going for it anyway. So you're looking at it as a 4-down territory. So you anticipate that, allows you to call a run in a known passing situation. You get the defense in a passing defense, and Frank Gore does the rest. So that was a really good play call and a really good result.
Southern Miss went on a 95-yard scoring drive. They had -6 yards in the second half prior to that drive. Good one from our man Marty Wyndham. All of a sudden, remember that 12-point margin in the game in grasp talk we had, about 25 minutes ago? Y'all can take all that talk and throw it out the window. All of a sudden, there's some life for those have decided to stay for a fourth quarter football game. For the rest of you in Spirit Park, we hope you enjoy the remainder of this broadcast tonight, correct?
Yeah, I think we're setting up for a good finish, and like I said earlier, it's going to take a big play from somebody. And at this point in a one-possession game, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah, it sure is. Arkansas State's got a dude named James Blackman. He's going to give it off to Johnny Lang Jr. Arkansas State's been true to the run game, too. They've not left it despite, look, they had -4 yards rushing when we broke for the half, Austin.
Yeah, they are doing exactly what we said, staying efficient. Southern Miss creates negative plays on defense. You can tell it's very obvious Arkansas State's game plan is to avoid that, with getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand and staying ahead of the sticks with the run game.
James Blackman swings this one out. It's dropped in and out of the hands of Johnny Lang Jr. There was some coverage applied by TK Newsome. How about this? First time tonight for James Blackman with consecutive incompletions. Football's a funny game, my man.
That is an incredible stat, but just like that, Southern Miss is lining up on defense for the biggest third down of the game.
Arkansas State is 5 of 11 in third down conversions tonight. Pressure. Southern Miss has gotten to James Blackman for another sack. Quentin Bivens with his second sack of the season. We've got some pushing and shoving happen here after the play. A penalty flag has been applied after the play. It is the 8th tackle for loss tonight for Austin Armstrong's defense.
Let's see what this flag is. It was high emotions in the secondary after the sack. Southern Miss went man pressure, matched it up. Bivens gets clean. Nowhere for Blackman to go, but the extracurricular activity. Let's see what was going on in the secondary after the play, which could, there you see it there on the left side of your screen between Foreman and Scott Jr.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2, Southern Miss, and number 14, Arkansas State. Those penalties will offset. That's the first unsportsmanlike conduct of both players of the game.
Jason, I really like that call. Two guys going at it after the whistle, and instead of making a game-changing call, you call a penalty on both guys because both guys were probably in the wrong, and you're letting them play and letting them be football players.
Yeah, it's an intense, emotional game that sometimes spills over after the whistle. It just happens, right?
Yeah.
By the way, that 8th tackle for loss tonight for Austin Armstrong's defense, right on par. They're 7th in the country with averaging 8 per game. What a punt off the foot of Ryan Hansen. Natron Brooks, though, has got an ability to return. He is across the 50-yard line, down to the 46 of the Red Wolves. And we've got some energy inside the rock. And we're coming back with the Golden Eagle offense with the football when we return. The voice of the Golden Eagles, John Cox, celebrating his birthday in only a way that he would want to celebrate it, inside M.M. Roberts Stadium. He's been the voice of the Golden Eagles in that position for 45 seasons. He called every play of your Golden Eagle career. Happy birthday, JC.
Yeah, he's one of those legends. Been doing it a long time, and when you think about Southern Miss football, you think about John Cox.
You sure do. His name sits above his radio booth. That's how long he's been here. A dear friend, no doubt. This one's gotten a lot more spirited, a lot more interesting. AD, this is a football game right now before us.
Yeah, we've got everything we want right here into a good matchup.
Jake Lang returns as the quarterback. Two-back set. Janari Dean gets the handoff. Dean has looked as well at the running back position in the last drive and a half as we've seen all year from him.
Yeah, here's a guy that's really been a spark for this offense. Just fresher legs. Does a good job when he gets to the secondary, creating more yards, and see how Arkansas State will adjust.
Give to Dean. Janari just kind of lowers his shoulder, sort of his cut and his gap appeared to be filled nicely by the Red Wolf defense, and he was able to pick up just 2.
Yeah, Janari does a good job of realizing when the play's really over and it's time to get north and run hard and get a yard or 2 extra and turning that into something. And those small yardage gains really help you.
Mike Backer for the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Jordan Carmouche right there in the middle of your screen, changing the defensive call. Frank Gore Jr. fighting for a first down. I believe he stretched the football out down to the 35-yard line and got it.
Inside zone by Frank Gore. There's the offensive line. You see Doss and Cavallo working together on that left side, working on that double team, getting shoulder to shoulder, not allowing penetration from the defensive line, letting Frank Gore handle the linebackers.
Frank Gore Jr. is 5 yards away from the century mark in this football game rushing tonight. Jake's going to check it down to Frank Gore Jr. at the 25. And another Southern Miss Golden Eagles first down.
Soft zone from Arkansas State, trying to keep everything in front of them. Lang looks right, sets up. Check downs there. Yards after the catch. First down, Southern Miss.
Keep in mind, Jake Lang played in 7 games last year. He started 4 of them. He was one of 11 quarterbacks to throw a pass for Southern Miss last year. Jake wings this out. Brownlee going to fight for some yards. Hanging on for dear life was Travion Thomas, the free safety.
Arkansas State brings pressure. Best way to beat pressure in the passing game is to throw right into it. Zones are voided, less defenders in the area. And anytime you can get the ball to Brownlee, it's a good play for the Southern Miss offense.
Here's Brownlee's numbers tonight. This is a give to Janari Dean. Looked like a read play there to me. Is that what you're seeing there, that Jake Lang is reading at? Has the ability to pull, but he gives it to Janari.
Yeah, on this, with the tackles blocking out and there's no read, if he's engaged with the defensive end, you're going to hand that off every time. But if that tackle comes down, defensive end is free, then that becomes a read. That's just a gap scheme. Janari Dean bounces it outside. 3rd and short for Southern Miss.
Pressure coming off the edge. They'll give to Janari Dean. They needed 1. And they're saying Janari Dean got 2 and enough for a Southern Miss first down.
And this is all Janari Dean right here. This is a tackle for a loss in every shape, form, and fashion. He gets under the would-be tackler, claws for that yard or 2, and that was the difference. First down.
That was Denard Flowers who had him up around the head and just couldn't hang on. The power of Janari Dean picked up the first down. Golden Eagles can get a first down to the 4.
Man-to-man up top.
That's where he's going. That one defended nicely. Leon Jones, transfer out of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. 6 PBU on the season breaks that one up.
There's definitely been one consistency tonight. If you're covering Jason Brownlee one-on-one in man coverage, you can expect the ball to come your way. They have been attacking whoever wants to cover that big man. Nice play by him there.
Lang checks to the sideline. A give to Frank Gore Jr. Trying to avoid a tackler. He does. Not much other space. Boy, the Red Wolves come closing in fast. John Mincy, who was injured earlier, has returned. He comes up with the stop on Frank Gore Jr.
Jason, here's another one of those situations, right? 3rd and 9, but you're probably in 4-down territory inside of 4 minutes in this ball game. So you can treat this like a 2nd and 9, which is exactly what Will Hall did earlier in the game, and the result was really good. So let's check it out and see if he does it here. Hands it off and tries to get to a 4th and manageable.
Yeah, you almost have the feeling a field goal at this point is no good. Jake Lang under pressure, avoids the sack. Jake going to kind of run for it down to the 7-yard line. Pretty heady decision from the youngster and Jake Lang on a nice play. Watch it here.
Yeah, left guard gets beat. He moves. He knows he has to go. Play breaks down, and the good thing about that play is it was quick and decisive.
Injury timeout on the field at the moment. Checking on John Mincy, who is battling tonight. We've got timeout on the field here at M.M. Roberts Stadium. 5-point game. Don't go anywhere. Golden Eagles driving. Back with more. Here we go. 4th and 3. 2:53 left. That man has a play call in. What do you think he's going with?
I think he's going to try to get the ball to Jason Brownlee, maybe get Lang on the move and get him outside the pocket. Let him create with his legs if he has to. And there comes Butch Jones. He doesn't like it.
Timeout.
He comes halfway on the field to get that timeout.
That's their second timeout of the second half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, raise your hand in this television booth if you had Southern Miss in an empty set, because that's my reaction. I'm the same as Butch Jones. That's not what I had. Will Hall had Frank Gore Jr. in a slot, Cole Cavallo in a slot to the right of the formation as well, completely empty other than Jake Lang in there. So you have to wonder now, does he come back with the same formation? You've been there. You've been a quarterback's coach. You've been an offensive coach. Now do you come back to the same thing, or do you draw something else up different?
Well, a lot of times you throw a look out there that they haven't seen and see how they respond. If you like what you get, you go with it. Here in this situation, they call a timeout. Most likely, Southern Miss is going to change the play because now they call the timeout, they call the play they want to run against empty. And there's your example there. Now they're going to go in a normal 3-by-1 set, put Frank Gore in the backfield. And at the top of your screen, no way they leave Brownlee one-on-one.
Here we go. Lang gets this out to Cole Cavallo, who is going to dive, and it will depend on the spot. And he is spotted at the 3, and he has a Southern Miss first down.
Great job getting the first down, getting the ball to the flat, makes the catch, but the play's not over. Keeps his balance, dives forward, first down.
Austin, if he doesn't dive, he doesn't get the first down.
Well, that's an excellent play, and here's where Southern Miss is going to try to do their best to manage this clock, run it down as much as they can and still score.
I wouldn't so much worry about that clock. I'd get 6. And Janari Dean has done it. Get you 6, 2-8. And Southern Miss has now taken a 20-19 lead here with 2:12 left in the fourth quarter.
Wow. There you see Janari Dean, big space off the left side. Just a credit to Southern Miss's offensive line, right? Wearing this defensive line out all night, continuing to stay with it. And, Janari Dean's a guy we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, expected big things, and he's really showed up tonight. Good for him.
Southern Miss will go for 2. Trying to make it a 3-point margin. Lang, this is batted down at the line, getting his hand on it. Kevon Bennett again, second pass breakup for that man. Will Hall, the play call to Cole Cavallo to get the first down. Here's another look at that 2-point conversion try. They were going to Brownlee.
Yeah, great patience by Bennett. You can see he kind of stood up there. He knew wasn't going to get home on the pass rush. Wait till the quarterback draws the ball back and elevate and bat that ball in the air.
Well, when you're faced in these kind of situations, to me, you want poise at the quarterback position. I can tell you Arkansas State has that box checked, highlighted, circled, italicized, written in bold. It's a different font. James Blackman's had all poise all night. He's going to be given this football with somewhere roughly around 2+ minutes left. You've been in situations like these for the Red Wolves. Where do they go?
They go to him. I mean, you're exactly right. He's been the best player tonight. He had this Arkansas State team going in the right direction, and they're going to set him up with pretty good field position. Yeah, I think they've got the man they want. Played a lot of football. He's been in these situations before, and he's going to attack this drive just like all the others. And we'll see if Southern Miss defense can do something about it.
Really nice return by Johnny Lang Jr. He chose to take it out in a good decision by a dangerous return man. Well, James Blackman has had a night. He is 23 of 28 for 211 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has not thrown an interception. 82% completion. He has a QB rating of 169. All that, and he does not have the lead at the moment. Valence Hunt has a completion here, shy of the 40-yard line as he is dropped down by Dalen Gill.
One of the most important plays in a 2-minute drive is the very first play. Used to always say, start with a completion. Get a good rhythm, feel good about it. Nice job by Blackman getting it down here to the field on the hitch route.
Blackman behind Hunt here. Santrell Latham was right on his hip. And there's been some big third downs. There's been none bigger in this one than this one currently.
Yeah, this is 4-down territory all the way. So they've got two more plays to convert this first down, but the clock becomes more of a factor than the down and distance.
Traore is the tight end / H-back just to the left. They go to the corner route to Jeff Foreman, who has the reception down in Golden Eagle territory to the 42.
Boy, has Foreman been a safety blanket when they've needed him. Southern Miss brings corner pressure. They void the zone. Stanley's trying to hold it off and play the safety spot and not show it, and he can't get over the top. Beautiful ball by Blackman on the corner. He's got his team inside the 50 and driving.
Early movement on both sides. Dominic Kewan was trying to get the early jump for Southern Miss. The left tackle for Arkansas State, McKeelan Thomas, also move. We'll see who they charge it against first.
False start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Really get the sense this is the first time this crowd has been a factor in this game, as loud as they've been all night for sure. Obviously so with this type of finish.
Well, early penalties in this game that negated drives. See what that one plays a role in this ball game tonight. 1st and 15. Blackman spins one high. over the head of Jeff Foreman. Foreman has 3 receptions tonight. 2 of his 3 are touchdowns.
Yeah, tight coverage by Natron Book. It's on the dig route. Blackman just fires a little high.
Southern Miss showing 1 high safety. Jay Stanley has walked up near the line of scrimmage, indicating some pressure.
Southern Miss is bringing pressure from up top. There goes Stanley.
Yeah, here he comes. Blackman down the field. They back away from the coverage. Austin Armstrong, the youngest defensive coordinator in the country, going deep into his play sheet. He is showing some wrinkles Blackman's not seen until just now.
Yeah, really a good job picking it up. Not a lot of pressure, didn't affect the quarterback. He just missed. The difference is they're trying to throw the ball down the field. He's losing some of his accuracy. A big 3rd and 15 here. They got to get a couple. Get back to manageable on 4th down.
Traore, the H-back, is dangerous. Southern Miss has got all kinds of pressure. Blackman goes down. Quentin Bivens affected him. Not sure who they'll give the official sack credit to, but Bivens was the first man through in his face. Watch it here.
Yeah, he just
119
bull rushes and comes right through for a Southern Miss defense that lives on tackles for losses and sacks and negative plays. They couldn't have dialed one up in a better moment in a bigger time than that play right there.
So for the Arkansas State Red Wolves and Butch Jones and Keith Heckendorf, their offensive coordinator, it all comes down to this, a 4th down and 22. By the way, how about this from deep in the depths of the stat? Arkansas State has converted a 4th down play every game this season and has gone 10 of 15 on the season, and they have been 3 of 3 over the past 2 games and 5 of 6 over the past 3 games. Tonight, this is their first 4th down attempt.
It's going to take something special to get 4th and 22.
That might have been an early jump. Dominic Kiwan was trying to come off the edge.
Looks like a false start.
Run and snap. False start. Right side of the offensive line. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
We feature Dominic Kiwan. David Eckert, the beat writer for the Hattiesburg American here locally in Hattiesburg, had an amazing story on the effectiveness of Dominic Kiwan. He has caused a lot of things tonight, not just in the sack column, correct?
Yeah, he's been a pivotal player for this defense and causing sacks, tackle for losses in the run game, and here we go.
4th and 27. Blackman being hounded, rolling to his left. He is going to heave a Hail Mary down the field. That is incomplete. Tipped away. Jay Stanley, Malik Shorts, Eric Scott Jr. All there, a trio of Golden Eagle defenders there to knock the ball loose.
Great job by Blackman creating time, getting away from pressure just to get a ball in the air. You're hoping for pass interference. You're hoping for a miraculous catch. You just do everything you can to get it in the air. Eric Scott Jr. gets vertical. About 4 or 5 guys converge on that ball at once. Ball hits the ground, and what an unbelievable comeback for Southern Miss to get to this situation right here.
You were down 12 were the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Will Hall changed quarterbacks. We're not sure exactly why. We're not been given that information. And all of a sudden, he found some life. And this stadium began to breathe life. And I even used the analogy that Arkansas State had this game by the throat. Due to a safety, they were getting the football back. They got a defensive stop, did the Golden Eagles, and it just seemed that this game turned on its axis and some belief was inserted into this offense. Frank Gore Jr. got a score, and everything changed. You've been a part of wins like this. What is it like on that sideline at the moment?
Well, I think it's obviously exciting for these guys, but it's a credit to Will Hall and his staff for sticking with it, making the changes necessary, sticking to the run game, getting Janari Dean going, defense continuing to bring pressure and do what they do, and just always believing that the next play is going to be a good play and something good's going to happen. And sure enough, it did, and they come away with a 1-point victory in a big home conference opener.
Southern Miss gets their first win while losing the turnover margin since the 2020 season finale. They go to 3-3 overall. They win their SBC debut in this stadium. They go to 1-1 in Sun Belt Conference play. For Will Hall, a win that they really, truly fought for and won in a fashion in which is pleasing to him. He doesn't mind winning football games just like this. He doesn't mind winning, grinding them out, utilizing Frank Gore Jr. in that kind of way. Austin, for those watching, put into words, we said earlier we felt this was a pivotal game, a program building game. Put in words what you think this win means for that man.
Yeah, I think you could see it all over him, just how excited he is and how hard he's fought for that and the hours he puts in and recruiting and watching film. And, you know, coaches put their heart and soul into this game. And so you got to be happy for him and just really pushing the right buttons and making the right calls. I mean, that's what you enjoy as a coach is, you know, playing the cat and mouse game, switching up your roster, play calling, all things that Will Hall's responsible for, and building a program and fighting through hard times. And there was a lot of adversity tonight for Southern Miss and for Arkansas State too. This was a game where it's just whoever hung in there the longest, and that's a credit to his culture. Will Hall talks a lot about his culture, and the guys have fun coming to work and they have fun at practice and all those things. And I think a win like this is a tribute to that, because they kept believing, they kept playing. And we mentioned it. It looked like Arkansas State was going to run away with this game. It's 19-7, 12 points, had the ball in their hand around midfield, and then the game flipped. And Southern Miss kept battling and found a way to get a 1-point victory. And this is one that if they really capitalize on and can move forward from. And on the reverse side, it's a tough one for Arkansas State because they really felt like they had it all night.
Yeah, they really did. Hey, what a night in Hattiesburg, Mississippi tonight. Homecoming inside M.M. Roberts Stadium. What a night. Southern Miss scores 13 fourth-quarter points tonight to win it 20-19. Special thanks, as always, to our statistician, Marty Wyndham. On behalf of Austin Davis, I'm Jason Baker. Special thank you to our producer and crew, Lee Field, and our camera crew, the best in the business. We say so long and good night. We remind you all games airing along the ESPN networks are archived on the ESPN app. You've been watching Sun Belt Conference football presented by ESPN.